Good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Menachem Creditor. I serve as Scholar in Residence for UJ Federation of New York, and it is our honor to come to you 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, to share some words of Torah, a little bit of music, some blessing, and a sense of us connecting to each other. This has been a very intense period of time for us as human beings in the world, as Americans certainly. And so one of the beautiful things that we get to do is we get to breathe together and to feel each other's presences. So good morning, everyone. It seems to be that just as yesterday and the day before, somehow the comments aren't showing up for me in real time, but if I could ask you, wish each other a good morning if you aren't already. You might be doing it as I ask. And thank God we have each other. It is a glorious day in the sun. May that simple glory be reflected in how we treat each other and what we see in the world. Let's start with a little blessing. Here we go. So, hi everyone. As I shared yesterday, this week's Torah portion is the longest in the entire Torah. It has 176 verses. That lines up well with Baba Batra, which is the longest book of the Talmud, which in most printings has 176 pages, and that lines up well with the longest chapter of Psalms, chapter 119, which has 176 verses. That is useless trivia, except it makes people like me smile wide. Not sure what to do with those numbers, except to say that this is a long Torah portion and there is a lot in it. Tucked inside of it is one of the most precious rituals Judaism has. It is the language of blessing from the time of the priests. Aaron and the priests were called to bless the people regularly. And this still happens in terms of prayers. It happens in Israel in daily prayer, and in some communities outside of Israel during the high holidays or during the Shalosh Regalim, the three pilgrimage festivals of Shavuot, Sukkot, and Pesach. The priests in a community, those who are descendants of Aaron, as we record our own lineages, stand in front of the community, they prepare, and then they bless. And Leonard Nimoy, alav hashalom, made the gesture famous by taking the way that the priests hold their hands and using it on Star Trek as Mr. Spock. So if you can do this, bully for you. This is the way the priests use their hands to bless the people. One of the rules is, and it's a custom, is you don't look when the priest is doing it. The Talmud says that there are certain things you just shouldn't look directly at. One of them is a rainbow. And one of them is the blessing of the priest. There are a lot of understandings of why that might be the case, but what I wanted to share is that at the end of the formula for the blessing. God says to the priests, you will do this, you will bless the people, these are the words, and I will bless them. And the rabbis say, well, what does that mean? If I'm blessing them, what does it mean that God is blessing them? It's a reminder that the blessing that comes through the priests doesn't come from the priests. That the priests serve it as conduits for God's blessing. Now, in a world that is pretty broken right now, we might not all be able to do this. But the priests of antiquity were reminded by their very instruction that they were supposed to be a conduit for God's blessing. If that is in the capacity of a human being, then the world doesn't have to stay broken. So what I'd love to ask you to do right now, just think very, very inwardly. Just think to yourself, what is a way that you can be a conduit for blessing today? There are urgent ways the world requires the blessing you can bring. So, what is the way that you want to bring it today? Just yesterday I had the honor of officiating at the funeral of the mother of a friend. Sad, of course, and it was complicated because of social distancing. It was actually in the cemetery where my grandfather, Alav HaShalom, is also buried. There are ways that when you pause and you think about all these lives, I looked at all of the headstones, read many, many names, had a conversation with my grandfather. Each of them had a full life, however short or long it was, because it was defined by the fullness of who they were. All of us are complicated, none of us are perfect. But think about the countless blessings that can pour into this world right now. If the 121 of us who are on this call this moment decide to be a force for good, through UJA Federation, we are accomplishing enormous good in the world. It's not only through the very courageous statements that we are making in response to the death of George Floyd. It's not only, and I say these only, it's not only the $45+ million that we've allocated to fight the coronavirus in partnership with so many other parts of New York and the world. It is not only the holy sisters and brothers who give of themselves as professionals and volunteers so that our work in the world can extend itself, alleviate poverty, raise the dignity of so many vulnerable human beings. It is in our power to do enormous good. And if you say to yourself, but I don't feel very powerful, well, think of this. It's not your power you're wielding. You cannot help but be created in the image of God. As Abraham Joshua Heschel said, a fraction of God's infinite power at your disposal. So the question is not, are you powerful? You are. You might not know it, but you are. The question is, what will you do with the gifts that you've been given? How will you be a blessing in the world? Now, I guess it's also true that when the priests offer their blessings, I'm not supposed to look. So there's a gift in that for us today. You decide the way that you're going to be a blessing in the world today. Share it if you'd like, but don't be shy about it. No one's there watching your inner thoughts. We're just watching the world that needs the impact you and each of us is called to bring. So, there's a beautiful melody for the priestly blessing, the Yevarechecha. This one was written by Rick Recht, and I recommend trying to do this. It's kind of cool. Singing, because it helps. It's a big gift to sing. And look at this week's Parsha. There's a lot in there. No matter how much we talk about it, we're going to miss something. But maybe you won't. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. The whole thing. Sing where you are. Sing with me. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, ve'yasem lecha shalom, ve'yasem lecha shalom. We like singing. Let's sing our way out. So Boker Tov, everyone. Have a really good day. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning.